So I was hoping to record a video in Zoom, but in my personal settings it doesn't let me record, so just using my regular phone. In the last 2 weeks I've downloaded at least 5 new visual communication apps. It's getting a little insane. And ultimately the thing that people want to use is the thing that we had in the beginning. So it's kind of funny that I have 5 apps and I'm chasing people down a rabbit hole to use one of them. They're like, just call me on the phone. When 3 months ago, you didn't even check your voicemail. So that's been a fun new part of life. The other thing is, like, in every home with a TV or a screen, there's like a never-ending show or something that's just playing on in the background. And I'm rebelling a bit to not watch this new show called Tiger King. Everybody's watching it, and they're really obsessed with it. And Carol Baskins is apparently, really important to this show. I digress, because there's really nowhere to go in quarantine times, and so you can just loop around forever. I've tried writing letters to friends, and people who never wrote me back 20 years ago are writing me back now. People who I've tried to stay in contact with through my phone are suddenly now using these bazillions of apps and asking how often we can chat. My family, who, bless their hearts, we would get together semi-regularly and call semi-regularly. They're like really pushing this. At least once a week, we need to be on these apps. Tried to chase families. I'm a teacher. Tried to chase families down by phone, by email, in these apps, on Google Classroom, whatever the district said, like, go here and do this, and they'll respond with one thing, but then you're like, oh, hey, let me help you with this other thing you have to do, and it's like, you never hear from them again, and suddenly they're texting, instead of being on the app, which they were just communicating on 20 minutes ago. And so I've learned a lot. And I've learned also to just let the kids at some point take control. Like, we were doing a Pictionary in my classroom, and I said, okay, there is an option where people can start drawing, and all of a sudden they just start drawing. Okay, so this is what we're doing now. Please tell everyone how you found this drawing thing that you're doing on my screen so that they can also draw. And then we did nothing but 10 minutes of them just filling up my screen with craziness. And there's 2 kids in the background, like, crying, "You drawing over my drawing and erasing it?" Like, yes, we're all doing it together. Let's try and be respectful. And then there's another kid in the background, like, I'm messing up everybody's stuff. Sort of what I feel like apocalypse communication is like. You've either got someone crying in the background saying, like, I can't do this anymore, or you got somebody who just, like, won't stop. And they're chasing you down that rabbit hole, and you're just trying to have that little drink. I need to shrink and get out of here so they don't find me and get through the door and hide. It's funny that in apocalypse times, where we're forced to not see people, you're actually actively trying to hide from them. And the support that they offer, or the communication they offer during these, as I like to call them, the apocalypse times. I'm pretty sure everybody's in crisis mode, which is funny that everyone's like, oh, download these new things and learn them and do more. And it really doesn't make any sense when everyone's in crisis mode and uncomfortable and grieving. Like, why would you add more to your plate? Doesn't make sense. And then, oh man, I could go down a really long, I'm going to call it spiral, really long spiral with this, and I'll go ahead and stop. But basically, I just feel like this needed to be documented, and that after it's been about 5 weeks since just over the water from Seattle, our schools shut down early, and we've been at home teaching for 3 solid weeks. We did have 1 spring break and 1 emergency week in there. So pretty much on point. I definitely rethinking everything in life, as I'm sure everybody is. And just kind of missing the world, which is why I've downloaded all these apps that I'm using, but not using because I'm actually just using my phone camera for this. Yeah, like I learned a lot. And I'm still here on my couch, wishing I could hug my friend. So, for all the good it does, in the end, it would certainly be nice to see everyone reaching out and everyone wanting to have good moments together out and about in all these various new outlets we've created for ourselves. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of backlash, so I'm hoping in the weeks, days, years we have left that this makes an impact. Like, never forget D-Day. Well, I don't think anyone in this generation even knows what D-Day is anymore. So how many years do we go by before repeating this again? I mean, 102 years ago, a very thirsty flu came through the world, and here we are again, arguing about the tactics that worked 100 years ago today. Like, nothing's changed except for our technology, and supposedly we're smarter. Anyways, I digress. Again, see, I mean, like COVID, you're just circling the drain. I told you 5 weeks at home. I've been at home for 5 weeks. The longest stint actually has been 10 days, and then I go and do something that's not essential. Like, I think the last one was I went to the post office. Not essential, but I sent out celebrations and thank yous and special gifts to people, and so that felt essential to my soul. But yeah, not essential. So I did cheat leaving my house. And I just want to say, if you made it this far down the rabbit hole, you're obviously sitting on the couch in a very similar state to me, because why else would you listen to this whole thing? And maybe this will be like a video diary, kind of like Star Trek, like star date, star log, whatever, I don't know. Star-Lord 289654. I don't even know what numbers I'm using. Been on this starship forever, and it's been intense. No, that would be camping, not on a starship. So, congratulations for surviving the pandemic 28 days later, times 3. You've made a difference. Thank you for this new world.